So taking a look at the met no benchmarks, I think for 9th grade it was 29%, 10th grade 31%, 11th grade 12%. For those three, did we find that there was a commonality in the students that represent those percentages?
That meet the benchmarks?
That did not meet it.
That did not meet?
Whether was it language proficiency? Was it demographic? What did we find?
So we definitely have gaps in our demographic groups where we are seeing Asian and white outperform our African American, Hispanic, and economically disadvantaged.
Okay, and so then I see we've got the African American, Hispanic, and Indigenous recognition programs. Mm-hmm. Is there targeted intervention that's part of that, or is that just more of a celebratory recognition once achievement's been made?
So those are celebratory. Those are based on the 11th grade PSAT and MSQT, and those are part of the National Merit Scholarship Recognition Program. Okay. And we just want to make sure that we are, any student that meets those, that we are celebrating them, recognizing them.
Okay. And so I guess with the closing the gap targets, just me as a trustee, I'm curious if is it a variety of different, I don't want to say TEKs because the PSAT is not testing the TEKs, but are there areas that there's like actual content areas that are super common among the groups that are not meeting? Or is it really just all over the place in terms of content areas that are at issue?
So the data analysis at that level has not taken place. That is what we are doing in May and June. And we actually are working on creating, when we work with the math and English teachers, that's where we're going to get in with the instructional planning tool, instructional planning report, and the question analysis so that we can find out what specific skills are where the gaps occur.
So that's where you link the Khan Academy?
Yep.
So they can get...
Yeah, and if I can just address that really quick. So there's two parts to this. So one is that every student, when they take the 9th grade PSAT, they actually have their own online account where they can then personalize based on their own skill where they need to work. And so part of our work there is making sure that our parents and students are educated and they understand how to access that. That is a very beneficial tool that that comes with part of paying to take the PSAT. So that's one. The second is when we receive our skill reports, but in both the reading and the math side, from a district level standpoint, that's where we can go in and see of all of our 9th graders, where are we strong, where do we have opportunities, how does that then compare to the skills that are tested in EOCs, and where does that fall within our curriculum so that we can make then curricular adjustments to help support skill development that is more general.
Okay.
So, I hope that
Can
makes
I follow up on that? Do we have access, the two answers you just gave regarding the personal data that the parents and students have access to through doing this test, do we as a district, does the district also have access to that level of detail regarding personalized planning?
So,
or is that done more district wide? I guess
so you're talking about the Khan Academy. So the way that works is when we provide the PSAT or the SAT, it's all in their College Board account, and so students can then link that account to Khan Academy SAT official practice, and then it will automatically take those scores and personalize that study plan for that student. And so that is something that the student has access to. There is a way where classes could be created by teachers, where teachers could have some view into it. There are some limitations with it, but it's really meant for 24/7, free, personalized practice for any and all students that want it. And it's really meant for internal capacity building within that student.
Okay, and I guess maybe I just want to connect the dots. Is that what you were talking about through Khan Academy?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
very
and
good.
we get our district level reports, we get campus reports, we get the student reports, but unless we link the teacher to the Khan Academy, which we are currently not doing, we don't have access to the students' individualized plans if they've chosen to do that on their own.
Okay.
Is there a way to know how many students have linked their College Board login with Khan Academy to know how many students are actually using this?
So we do not have that information right now, but that is something that we can ask College Board about. I know in the past they would provide that information. I just need to find out if that's still possible.
Yeah, just curious, specifically for the 29%, the 31%, the 12%, if we're able to say, hey, for these students, could you just tell us how many of them are actually utilizing the tools, and maybe that may change how we craft our communication with parents. But it seems like a really great tool, and it'd be unfortunate if students weren't utilizing it. So I think it's important that we know if they're even using the tool that's there for them.